So the video is recording now, but that's okay. Oh, I can't have that noise. I'm gonna have to turn that off for a little bit, Dan. It'll get warm in here, but
it is weird when it shuts off. You hear through the headphones.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I got to get better microphones. These microphones are designed to pick up right in front of you, but also because of the filament that's on it, I had to put these socks on it to dull some of the noise around it. What I need is what they call shotgun mics, where it only picks up right in front of you, and it's another purchase in itself.
Is that like that blue ice one that I got? Is that?
Yours is a shotgun, almost like a shotgun mic. Yeah, if you're not right on top of it, it really won't.
Yeah. And it didn't work out for what we needed, but I said, I know I'm going to use these. I'm not going to return them. And we've done a couple Zoom calls to Kathy's friend in California, and they work perfect for that.
You hear that noise outside? Is that noise outside?
I can hear a humming noise. Yeah. But that noise there, the humming, the sounds, I can hear all the fans in my computer all the time.
Yeah. All right.
That's a frequency I pick up very well. So.
All right, don't talk till I introduce you, okay? Yeah. See, this right here should be floating around 45, and it's up to 36, but we'll deal with it. We will deal with it.
45 decibels?
Yeah.
So it should be a little lower?
It should, yeah. Whatever that,
Yeah.
whatever that humming is.
Okay, it seems to be less. Oh, maybe I could shut my headphones off.
Turn your... So there's a humming in here. Somewhere. Do you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. That sounded creepy, the creaking door.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what it is. Sorry. I totally forgot. This is why I don't have the fan on.
Oh, no,
There's a ceiling fan in there, and that's why I don't have the ceiling fan on. I'm like, what did I change? Oh, I forgot I put the ceiling fan on in there. See, now it's...
That was it.
Now watch. If you be quiet, it'll drop down to 40,
Yeah.
45.
Do you know what Ron told me the other day?
What?
The belt fell off his mower when he was mowing, and he couldn't put it back on. So he called somebody up, and the guy put it on for him for $75.
What belt? The drive belt or the blade belt?
The blade belt. I mean, you had no tools. You just put it back on.
Well, it depends on how it fell off.
Yeah.
If it's a serpentine,
Yeah.
Is it a riding lawnmower?
Yeah, riding mower.
So you have a drive that connects to the motor and to the spindles, and then you have a belt that runs all the spindles.
Yeah. And it was the one that went to the drive one, and it's like, but I don't think he has any mechanical. He just has the money to pay somebody.
He's like my mom and dad. My mom and dad, I say for years, I used to take care of the lawn as a kid growing up. But my mom and dad have no desire to take care of the lawn. So the community that they live in, they hit you, they fine you if you have, the bushes are overgrown or something like that. So they physically can't get out there and cut the hedges. And my mom and dad got like a 4,200 square foot house in Claremont. And it sits on zero plot lines. That's the way Florida is, kind of like Ron's neighborhood. Yeah. And they have to pay someone, I think it's $180 something a month to come out there and. Well, that's what I used to do too, but I mean.
Yeah, I just can't picture it. I do so much for myself.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Well.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, what is really in your burrito? And all I wanted was a mixed slushie. And STDs are on the rise, and Girl Scouts, unfortunately, have too many cookies left over from this past year. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? And before I continue, Over to my far right-hand side, all the way from Is This Going Somewhere, I have Dan. Dan, how are you?
Hey, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. Thank you.
Doing good.
Thank you for coming in, and thank you for sitting down and doing the show with us.
Yes, in wonderful Marshville, North Carolina, just out of Charlotte.
Just outside. See, he knows the whole breakdown and everything. So Dan's spending some time with us here on the French, and for those of you who don't know, we broadcast, just like Dan said, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville, and we have horses and cattle and chickens and all this stuff on and Dan actually bought my Silverado. He bought my Silverado from me, so we took it to the dealership, and did the whole, I detailed it out. There was a recall on the airbag. They replaced that. But you don't need airbags, do you, Dan?
No, not the way I drive. I think we all need them in life.
But so they got the airbag replaced, and so Dan's main thing was, and I know this drives him crazy, and it drives me crazy too. I couldn't find my title. I had the title to the truck. I paid it off many, many years ago, and in the process of moving from Florida, now I'm Florida born and raised, and from Orlando, Florida, moved up here about 8 years ago, and somewhere we've lost the title to, and I say lost the title of the truck. You put it in a file cabinet somewhere, and Dan, are you good with filing stuff?
I can file stuff, and a lot of times I find it, but I file it in the right place, but there are times I cannot find something. I know I filed it, and I'll go through my entire file cabinet and not find it.
See, my wife has taken all the filing job away from me. If you were to look at my computer here with all the stuff that we do here at DeaconLive and the Is This Going Somewhere podcast, and you can check those guys out as well, I would create a folder and say, okay, this is all media ads. And then I put all my media ads in there. Well, then I'll create something else, and I'll open up another folder. It's the exact same thing, but I'll call these ads for media. And so you go back and look for it, and you just can't find it. And so I'm thinking that I put the title under T, which would make sense, or T for truck, or C for Chevy, but the problem is we have so many different, those accordion file things. You know what I'm talking about, Dan?
Yes, I have some of them.
Okay, so, and you would keep them for certain instances and certain particular things, and I just don't know where that went. So, Dan, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I know, but you're worried about. Are you really worried about driving the truck?
No, I'm not worried. As long I know you, and you'll find it, and you get a duplicate. It'll all be good.
Now with the duplicate, I mean, does it? I guess it would have the seal and everything on it.
Yeah, it's still going to be the same. It's just that they make you wait 15 days.
But you have insurance. You took out the insurance on it.
Yeah, it has insurance on it.
So you can drive it around with my tag and your insurance, and we should be good, right?
Yeah, that should be good because they didn't ask me for a tag. They asked me for the VIN number.
So we had lunch today, and Dan tried to buy me lunch today, and I said, no. You're the one who did me a favor. I guess we did both each other a favor. And I said, I'll buy lunch today. I'll buy lunch. And we met up with a good friend of ours, and we sat down to have a nice lunch, all three of us. Myself, Dan, and Ron from Ron in the morning. So
it was especially nice for me. First time I've ate at a restaurant inside since COVID started.
Really?
Yes.
So, and you didn't have a mask on when you walked in?
No.
Now, are you vaccinated?
Yes, I have both of my vaccination, and it's been a couple months, but it takes 2 weeks for the vaccination to set in. Physically, it probably took me another month mentally just to get over all my caution and all my fears from COVID.
What kind of fears and cautions did you go through? First of all, you got the vaccination. Did you have any side effects or any kind of...
Just the sore arm. I'm talking about mentally, it took me time to get over the whole year that I spent basically in quarantine with my wife, where we did not see anybody. Nobody came to our house. I'd go out shopping with my mask, come home and wash myself with gargle with Lysol and clean everything out. And it was pretty much, I spent that time in fear. I was scared to death. And it's almost like when you have a cold and you feel better, and then a few days later you start to really feel better, and then a week later you said, wow, I really did have a bad cold, and it stages till you. And now that I think it's back to normal for me, pre-COVID for me right now, and I'm realizing now how afraid I was and how fearful. My wife has real bad lungs. She's got real bad health issues, and if she got COVID, she has trouble breathing now as it is.
Now, do you look back at it and say, I was a dummy for thinking that way, or I'm glad I did think this way?
I'm glad I did, because we've had 2 people in our neighborhood that have died of COVID, and 2 people that have been long-termers they're just not themselves. They can get around, but they've got the lingering effects.
So you live in an old folks' home.
Old
folks' neighborhood.
Well, it is a mixture. It's a gated community. Most of these people were,
You say
over
gated,
50.
right?
Gated.
Okay.
Not gay community. It's gated community. and that's not a jail cell. That's a gated community too. But that's totally different. So it's something that I'm glad we took all the precautions, but it's something where you look back now and say, boy, that did affect me for that whole year. And I am so glad to be back to normal.
So would you say you would have like PTSD or any kind of like shell shock as far as, how did you feel today? Because the 3 of us all went out and we all, we traveled. You were in his vehicle for a while and then my vehicle for a while, but normally you wear a mask. And I made the joke when I saw you today. I said, this is the first time in a year and a half that I've actually seen Dan's nose and Dan's face or his mouth. I usually see from the bridge of his nose to his hairy eyebrows.
Yeah, and it's been an adjustment for me coming back, and I feel safe for the first time. And I had no apprehension today. It was like pre-COVID for me right now.
Really?
But even the 2 weeks after the shot, I think it took at least about a month to gradually get back to where I just felt normal.
And so, are you normal now? That's still judge and jury still out on that.
Yeah, normal in the sense of COVID, before COVID and after COVID and everything.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you were able to come in here and enjoy the show with us and spend some time with us. Now, I have a question for you. Now, North Carolina just stated that they were doing the lotteries for COVID. Did I read that right?
I know Ohio did it. I haven't heard about North Carolina.
Well, maybe they're in the works or thinking about it. But here's the thing that I don't understand. So you have all these states that said we're giving you now. Granted, people I know out there, we get into the light and fluffy here. But I have Dan here, and he's experienced, and he's an older gentleman, and I want his input on what.
Thanks a lot.
Well, I want his input. Because he. We've talked about this many times before, and I just want to make sure that for those of you that are out there and they're still hiding in their little turtle shell or still not even hiding in it and just going out willy-nilly, honestly, Dan, all cell phones off. Make sure you talk right on the microphone, Dan. You tend to drift. Now, you can pull that right down if you want to lean back a little bit more.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
All right. So, cell phone's off, by the way. Your cell phone's off?
I muted.
All right, muted. And it wasn't anyone important, right? It wasn't Kathy or anything?
It was Ron.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, what was I talking about? So you're back out in the world, and I just want everyone to get another perspective as far as what's going on in the world. And Dan, this was your first day out in the big wide world. And mark your calendars, mid-June 2021. This is the first time Dan's been out there. And we actually sat at the bar and had some lunch. And Dan, you had a good time?
Yeah, I had a good time. And I had been to a couple restaurants where you'd sit outside at a table.
Okay.
Where you get takeout food and eat. But, in the fresh air outdoors. First time indoors in a restaurant and no apprehension or anything.
So Ohio's doing the whole lottery thing. And, if you get your shot and you get all that stuff, and they're giving away $1 million if you're over 18. If you're under 18, they're giving away a free scholarship. I think North Carolina's trying to work into something like that. So I have a question for you, and we're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to come back, and we'll ask you this question because I don't think it's fair what they're doing. Everyone's like, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. But I think it's not fair what they're doing. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I'm just going to text Ron.
Why? What's Ron want? Oh, shit. Yeah, careful pulling on that table. It's a standalone table. I don't know if you're pulling on it or not. Okay, I'll be right back.
Hello, Ron. We're taking a quick break. I'm doing the radio station.
Okay.
Did you?
I just want to make sure you got home, all right?
Oh, no, I haven't got. I'm still at Travis's house. We're doing the radio show.
Oh, okay.
But I should be home. I just got a 45-minute ride in my nice new truck. Okay.
See you later.
Okay, take care, my friend. Bye.
What was he saying?
He was just calling to make sure I got home okay.
Oh, okay. Careful with the headphones by them. Mike.
You doing yoga? Meditation?
Who?
You.
Me? No, I'm looking at trying to figure out how I'm going to tie these together here.
Have a good segue.
Yep.
Do you know? Did I tell you that more people have died from drug overdoses in San Francisco than from COVID?
Save stuff like that if you want to.
Okay.
Oops.
You want me to say that, or?
If you want, yeah.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want, Dad.
Yeah, I know. I got myself in trouble the other day.
How's that?
I calling my wife a gardener, and she sprayed me. She was spraying the lawns, kept me with the hose, sprayed me in the face.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Coming back. Oh, I should have changed that. All right, I didn't, but oh well. Welcome back to DeaconLive. If you want to be heard the way you want to be heard, everyone wants to be heard. You can be heard here on any podcast that we do at DeaconLive. Just go to prophetradio.com, PROPHET radio. Click on the little blue Be Heard bar at the very bottom right-hand side of the screen. Opens up a little microphone on your tablet, your device, whatever you're listening to us at. And then you can leave us a message, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. That's how easy it is to be part of the show. Now, being part of the show this week, I've got Dan from Is This Going Somewhere podcast. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great.
You look good. You look happy. Why are you happy?
Yes, I don't know why. It's just some strange reason I'm very happy today.
So the reason why he's happy is because he's purchased a new vehicle, and I say new vehicle, he's bought my old truck, and it's not an old truck. It's a 2011 Chevy Silverado. And it's almost in, I say, mint condition. What's your opinion on it?
I think it's very close to mint. You look at it, and it doesn't look much far from the showroom. No dings, no dents.
Because I take care of my stuff. I take care of it. I'm always that way. I could tell you every scratch, every little. I know there's 2 dents on there that I'm really upset about, and every time I look at it, I kick myself in the face. But I know every little scratch and where it came from, and there's a small story behind each one, and I'm not going to go over that now, but I'm just telling you, I know where every scratch came from. Now, in Ohio, they're giving away COVID lottery tickets or you get a chance to win the lottery. Oh, $1 million, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And Dan, you are venturing out and getting into the system. Now, if North Carolina has anything, you've gotten both shots. You and your wife, Kathy, have gotten both shots. I guess you would qualify for anything that North Carolina would do?
Yes, would be automatically qualified if it works the way though it does in Ohio.
So if they say, we give you $1 million, so for example, Dan gets $1 million. Dan, governor calls you. Hey, Dan, I don't know what the governor sounds like, but hey, Dan, you won $1 million. And you would say?
I say, hey, thank you so much. This is great. I am set for life.
So, but are you set for life?
With $1 million, yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. What you don't know is they will actually tax that $1 million as if it was a lottery winning. So the tax on $1 million is what, 43%?
I think it's less. I think it's about 35%.
All right, so 35%. So then after that, and then any monies that you gain on top of that, the whatever winnings you got on that, you pay tax on that. So what's 35% less of $1 million?
You still have $650,000.
So you have $650,000, which I think is bullshit. Because here's what I say. First of all, where did they get the $1 million? I mean, I understand where it comes from. I'm not an idiot. I know how money and stuff works. But let's say I'll give you this cheeseburger. I'm the government. I'm North Carolina. I'm going to give you this cheeseburger because you got the vaccine, right? I'm going to give you this cheeseburger. But I'm kind of hungry too, so I'm going to take 35% of the cheeseburger that I made you. I cooked the beef. I put the cheese on it. I toasted the bun. I put the mayo. And what do you want on your cheeseburger?
Yeah.
What do you want on it?
Mayo, onions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it exactly the way you want it. It's $1 million cheeseburger, and I'm going to give you this cheeseburger, but I'm going to take 35% of that back to me and put it in this pile. And does that make? I don't understand how that makes sense.
Oh, what makes sense to me is if people realize that they're going to, if you get something, you're going to pay taxes on it, and you're going to get. But if you give $650, if you have the carrot hanging out there with $650,000 after taxes, and what they're trying to do is get people who haven't got vaccinated to get vaccines. If we can get to a certain amount of people vaccinated in our state, if they give $5 million away, they're going to save $50 million in COVID costs for care, doctors, money they have to pay medically. I mean, as far as the state goes, budget-wise, it's a no-brainer.
Then why wouldn't they just say, I'm going to give you $650,000 tax-free? Yeah. Doesn't that sound a little bit better than I'm going to give you $1 million and then I'm going to take 35% of that $1 million back and put it back in the pocket that I take the $1 million out of my left pocket. I give you, I'm sorry, I need 35%. I'm going to stick that back in my right pocket. That, to me, doesn't sound legit. Now, I understand. And you didn't put any money into your pocket, out of your pocket. When you buy a lottery ticket, there's some kind of form. There's a group mentality. There's a herd mentality where if everyone in the state, I think North Carolina has, 23 million people? What's our body count here?
I am not sure.
Let's say it's 20 million, just for numbers' sake. And if everyone put in $1 every week, to buy lottery and stuff, then that money goes in the pool, and essentially that's where the money pools from. So here the governor or government or the state on a state level has made you a cheeseburger. I've made this cheeseburger. I didn't use any other. No one put any money in this. I just had this cheeseburger sitting off. I had some frozen bricks in the in the freezer, and I'm going to give you this cheeseburger. But you know what? I think I'm going to have to take 35% of that back.
Okay. I just got a phone call from the governor while we're talking, and he told me that I've just won $1 million in the lottery. And I said, that's great. It's fantastic. And he just told me, but you are going to pay the taxes on it, and you'll only end up with $650,000. And I said, no. You can go screw yourself, and I hung up on him. Of course you're going to take the $650,000. It would be...
But I guess you're not. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think in my mind it doesn't make any sense. The money's coming out of the pool and going right back. But I'm going to take some of it and keep it in my pocket. Anyways, now something that with everyone now, Dan, you said this is your first day out and walking around and being a human being for a while.
Yes.
And a lot of people have been trapped in their houses and trapped in their homes. You and Kathy have been, you said you don't go out and see anyone, but so you've been trapped in your houses and stuff. Now, granted, Dan, you've been married for how long now?
It's been 47 years in August.
All right. Well, congratulations, by the way. But there's a lot of people that were just started dating or barely dating or in relationships, or I don't know if they're just screwing around. But studies have shown numbers in North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services have revealed that transmission rates of some sexually transmitted diseases here in our home state of North Carolina have gone up, especially in Mecklenburg County before the COVID-19 pandemic. Compare these numbers from January through March of 2021, the same period in 2020, which is hard to say. The numbers indicate that while the numbers of chlamydia have gone down, the numbers for gonorrhea and primary and secondary syphilis and HIV has gone up. For HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, the number was nearly doubled when it was in the same period in 2021. So they say that it's the hardest thing to do is try to predict human behavior. So people contracting sexual transmitted diseases before the pandemic, in highly urban areas and are likely to see a higher rate, especially among African populations or African groups and clusters and everything. But for most part, last year, lockdowns were in place. Many people were closed and had limited hours along with social distancing. So, of course, we know all this. So what they're seeing is, hey, I'm stuck with you, you're stuck with me, we're stuck with her, we're stuck with him, I'm stuck with you. They're all just transmitting the STDs. It's like the villages in Florida where everyone just starts having sex with each other in their own community, and just one guy's got herpes, the next, he's spreading it down the line.
And I understand that. If you're home and it's one thing if you're working and you only see each other for 2 or 3 hours a day, and now it's all of a sudden you're home, it's all day long, you've watched every show on every streaming service, and there's nothing to do, so let's go have sex.
Let's just bang it out.
It's pretty much boredom. You look at each other, yeah, let's go upstairs. I got 2 minutes.
Yeah,
yes.
but I mean, STDs are more on the rise. So are they saying that you're having more sex?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it just correlates. I don't think it's.
But are you having more sex with more multiple partners than you would normally in a normal atmosphere that we're in now? So, for example, I let's say I've got 5-6 girlfriends. And I rotate through those girlfriends on, a monthly, weekly basis. I don't know how you guys do it, but however you guys do it, I'm a married man. But in the normal atmosphere, you're playing more of a roulette with those 5 to 8 girls, let's say 5 to 8 girls. And they're playing a roulette with the 5 to 8 guys that they're rouletting with, but they're all still in the same community. As to you walking into like an O'Charlie's and picking up a girl at the bar and taking that one girl home, and it's a one-night stand or maybe a 2-night stand if she's any good or does that certain thing that you like. So, I mean...
To me, I get a mixed feeling on that because my logic is if you're home and you're bored, more people are going to have sex.
But how are STDs are transporting if you're stuck in the same house with the same person?
Well, that's the other flip side of the coin is that because of COVID, you should only be with the one person because you don't want to be with other people. So that statistic is, I can't figure it out.
Well, so you have to have sex with your mask on, and then you have to have sex with the little guy's mask on, I guess.
Yeah. No, I mean, what I think is because you're bored, you can have sex more often, which would make the numbers increase. But because of COVID, you're not going near anybody, should make the numbers decrease.
Correct.
So
there's a reason why not a lot of people have gotten the flu. So why is STDs going higher than and the numbers of the flu dropping?
That is, I do not know the answer. I can honestly say that.
Well, if you want to be heard and you have your opinion about that, go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the Be Heard section. Opens up a little microphone. Click, and believe me, I don't have time to sit here and hunt you down and sell your email to people overseas. I've got too much other shit going on. I'm selling trucks and digging holes in the ground. I know that sounds horrible. So stick around. We'll dive more into the show when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
We had the blizzard of 78 in Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
And everybody stayed home for like 4 days straight. All the streets were blocked up. You couldn't go anywhere. I drove a tow truck, and I had doctors calling me. I drive the tow truck to their house, pick them up, and drive them to the train station, and they'd give me $50 gladly. And I would, I don't have to get underneath the car and tow things. But
You were
then
just
they
hooking
had,
up.
that was the blizzard of '78, and they had so many babies born. I had a nephew that was born, and he was a blizzard of '78 baby. Because it was February.
So do they name the baby anything special for 78? No. This is my stand-up and...
No, just Jamie.
Jamie?
Young Dior. It goes out to town. Hoping you come around. Just let me know when it hits the floor, on the floor. Maybe we'll work it out. Just let me know how we end up goes out to town. Hoping you come around. Just let me know when it hits the floor, on the floor. Maybe we'll work it out. Just let me know how we end up goes out to town. Hoping you come around. Just let me know when it hits the floor, on the floor. Maybe we'll work it out. Let me know after we're done. Hoping you come around. Just let me know when it hits the floor, at the floor. Maybe we'll work it out. Never seen a day out.
You having a good time?
I just lost $118.72.
How'd you do that?
No, they deducted from my life insurance.
Why?
No, they do that every month.
Oh.
I could be riding around in a nice truck. No, it's all good.
Well,
No, is this what Amy's dad would do? Come in when you did the show?
yeah. That's exactly what we do. Now, our show was 2 hours long. And we would learn how to work off each other, and he's very, very opinionated. And I like to press his gears. I like to get him riled up.
You get me going with different things.
Yeah. So he would bring to the table probably 10 topics, and my job was to come up with another 20 for a 2-hour show. And then we would sit there. You should listen to the old shows with him. Anything in 2018.
Now, do you find the shows were too long and the listeners didn't want to listen that long, or? Just,
I still get downloads for the shows that are in 2018.
Okay.
But my opinion was, I think 2 hours was a long time for a podcast to sit there and dedicate 2 hours to. So what we would try to do is we would do 2 1-hour shows, and he would sit here and we'd talk about stuff for an hour, and then we'd stop, close everything down, open everything back up like we're starting fresh, and we would pick. I'd have show 1, show 2, and I'd produce 2 shows and have that all out.
Would you do different days of the week, like Monday and Friday?
No,
it
would always be Tuesday was the best day for me to do it, because his schedule and my schedule at the time.
Okay.
Tuesday was the best day, and then
you can record it any day. You can, release it. Yeah.
So what we're doing now, the reason why I write the time down so I can keep track of how long it takes me to edit this.
Okay.
Because, well, here, I'll show you. So at the top of the pages, these are old ones. I don't know if you have your glasses on.
No, I don't.
At the top of the page, it says show start, show end, and then it says review start, and then review end.
So you can just kind of give yourself a gauge of how long it takes you to do it.
And it takes me about to add back, because we haven't done any commercials or anything. So all these blanks in between, I've got to add all those commercials back in.
Yeah, but some of those you've already recorded.
Well,
Which
this
comes
is all
first.
musical groups.
Yeah.
So I physically have to go in and say, I don't have any product commercials. All I have is musical artist commercials.
Okay, this is Eric B. Turner, former lead singer of the Drifters.
Right.
Yes.
And I have to do that live every time because I never know when I'm
Yeah.
going to put it in there.
That is one of the songs when I listen to it, I go, I like that song.
It's a great song. These guys I got in there now, and I even bumped the price up so
Yeah.
I could get rid of all these thugs and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, there was one guy that
Yo.
I was listening and I go,
Yo.
yeah, I could do that.
I'm like, he's an idiot.
And I have a basic rule. You know, if you're going to sing, you have to sing better than I can. If I go to a restaurant, you have to cook something a little better than I can. That's all.
Right.
It doesn't have to be...
Simple rules.
Yeah, simple rules.
But I'll tell you what, I've achieved what they call Fiverr Choice status. Like when you go to Amazon and it says Amazon Choice.
Yeah.
So on Fiverr Network, I've now achieved Fiverr's Choice.
Oh.
So when they click on music promotion, I'm one of the first ones that pops up. What are you doing?
I just get the cable keeps getting cut on my foot. That's it.
So I'm one of the
Yeah.
first ones that pop up, and a lot of people by default just go, all right, this is Fiverr's Choice, he's legit, and that's where I get a lot of these. So I started bumping the prices up because I'm like going, some of these guys, I got 14 to do today, 14 artists to get in there, and I'm probably going to have to nix some of them. Some of them are garbage.
But
I'll play them next week.
but if you don't you have it that you if you don't take care of them in a certain time you lose it or something or it affects your ratings.
So everything I do on Fiverr is I give the person 24 hours because I've got to book everyone. I can't give everyone 3 days and have this guy pay me on 2 days into it and this guy pay me 3 days into it.
Yeah.
It's got to be within 24 hours because I'm starting already to book time slots for the next podcast. So I give them 24 hours. So I want my song on there. Okay, here's your contract. And I'll do all the internet stuff, and then I'll have everything ready for him. So when I send it to him, he can click on the link and see that his stuff's on the internet. His song's being played on the internet. The only thing he won't see is the iHeartRadio stuff yet.
But he'll hear you say this is the song from Eric
Correct.
Return. And what's it, 20 seconds? Play.
I do a minimum of 30 seconds,
Yeah.
and if I've got not a whole lot of them, then I'll run it out a little bit.
Okay.
But like today, I have to do 14 of them at 30 seconds. So
Yeah, the 7 minutes of your show right there.
exactly. So that's why I have to trim all the
Yes.
and to get it's a rapid firing show. So all right, back to the action.
Yeah, Ron told me nothing worse than dead airspace. He goes, I can't talk the way Travis can. He said he was talking about on the way there. So.
Yeah, what was he
Yeah.
saying? I like hearing this because I don't get any feedback.
He said he's got a talent. He knows he knows how to talk, and he's got a voice that's good for it, and he likes to talk, and he knows how to talk, and not just empty airspace. He goes, I don't like to talk, and I mean, and when I call you on the phone, we can almost talk about any conversation. And whatever the conversation we're talking about, we know it's going to fall off the cliff and go somewhere else.
Right.
Wait a minute. We were, it went from looking at a bumper of a car to Star Wars. Did you hear this?
Right.
And I do not know who that guy Buff is. That's Muff, the guy that's the producer. I never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of him either.
Okay. But it's when a conversation can go
Muff
somewhere.
Longhorn? What's his name?
Yeah. And what kills me is I can't talk to my brother. I call him up. I've known him for all my entire life.
Right.
And I call him up and we just can't have a conversation. We just, both have said, okay, we're going to go now.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So.
Well, your interests are different.
Well, we both love cars. I mean, he's a mechanic. I work for him as a car. So I'm just going to tell this guy.
See, my thing is just if someone, no matter what level of maturity you are, if you're interesting, I love just talking to someone. Like the other day, I was my neighbor Charlie. He's a retired preacher, big old fat guy, mows his lawn. I went over there the other day to just check on him, see because our fence line. I'm like, hey Charlie, I'm going to put this fence up. before I put it up completely, we got the post in. He was mowing. I went out there and talked to him. I'm like, hey, man, are we good with this? Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, Southern draw.
Yeah.
This, I'm so happy you can get this done. Yeah. And then it was just peaches pie and all this stuff. So I'm like, and so we got talking and stuff. But yeah.
Well, he's happy because he's never done a day of work in his life. He just sits there, hey, I'm happy, it's good. No,
All right, so
we just finished talking about the lottery.
Yeah.
I can't see a damn thing without my glasses.
Where are your glasses at? I thought you brought them with you.
No, they're in the truck.
Why don't you go get them?
Oh, that would slow me down.
I don't know. I'll fucking wing it. I'm always shocked at what comes out of my mouth, anyways.
It's probably better when it's with instantaneous, spontaneous,
right?
Combustible. Yeah.
So that's done. That's done. Then I go over here and go delete.
We didn't do the one with the car yet?
No. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Man on a hooded car. Do that one, and then we'll come back and talk about, because it looks like a fight, so I'll get into the slushie. The lady was fighting over her slushie. Got it? And then I'll go somewhere crazy, anyways. All right, here we go. Oh, God, shut up. You have to be careful. You have pop-ups that'll play while you're talking. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. Everyone wants something for free. And we've got a bunch of free stuff for you here at Deacon Live. Now, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We have 22 some odd acres. And the way you can get some free stuff, free swag is what they say in the business, is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the social contacts, and there's a little drop-down menu that says free swag. Fill out the little form. Tell us where you're at, and there's a couple of packages up there. There is a Prophet Radio package. There's a Deacon Live packages, all with magnets and stickers. And there's also a Is This Going Somewhere package as well. If you don't know what that is, it's another podcast that we do with a gentleman by the name of Dan. And in the studio this week, we have Dan in the studio. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great.
All right,
nice to be here.
You're surviving over there?
Yes.
So fill that out. And believe me, I've got, your email address, I'm not selling to anyone. Just I want to give you guys some free stuff and show our appreciation for you downloading us and doing all the stuff that connects us to you and you to us as well. Now, a lot of people get angry. The people are being released out. Now, Dan and I went to lunch today. We had a very good lunch. What did you have for lunch today, Dan?
I had a sausage cheesesteak.
Now, how can, when you say a sausage, are you talking about like a sausage patty like you would have for breakfast, or
no? It was like a Philly cheesesteak. Only they butterflied the sausage, and then they put the onions and cheese in it.
Is it like a kielbasa type sausage or a hot dog?
Yeah, like a hot dog.
So why did they just call it a hot dog steak sandwich?
Well, it was a sausage, but it wasn't shaped long like kielbasa, but it was big, like a big round sausage.
So it can't be a cheese steak if there's no steak in the cheesesteak sandwich.
Well, that's what they called it. And usually when I have that, I see they just chop up the sausage and grill the onions and everything, just like a cheesesteak. And this was kind of a different form.
All right. So was it worth the $11, $12 that it was?
Yeah, it was a good sandwich.
Oh, gross! I hate green peppers.
Yes. What about red peppers?
No, I hate all red and green peppers. I just don't like them.
Peppers are fine to me. I'd rather have onions, though.
But you're now that you're. Did you see any problems with our service? Did you see anyone freaking out because they didn't get their order right or anything like that?
No, everything was...
Everyone was copacetic, right?
Yeah.
Now, people are now being released out into the public, out into the wild. No one needs to wear a mask anymore. I'm vaccinated. No, you're not. Yes, you are. You know, who's to say what to what? There's a shocking video making the rounds on the internet. Is a man going down, right out here in Charlotte, going down I-77, hanging on the hood of a car. Now, if I had a nickel for every video that I've seen here in Charlotte with someone hanging on the hood of a car or roof of a car or something like that, I'd probably have $2.95. No?
No, I've never seen it before.
You've never seen it before, really?
No, I did have a lawyer that we hired when we were in Massachusetts. Someone stole his BMW from a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. He jumped on the hood to try to stop the man. The car went over the curb and turned. He fell, hit the back of his head, and he died. 33 years old. And he could have just let the car go. You have insurance.
What kind of what kind of car was it?
It was a BMW sedan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he tried to save it.
He tried to save his car, and it cost him his life.
Oh, jeez. A witness who didn't want to go on camera said that the incident began as a fight at Circle K on North Graham Street. A man reportedly refused to move out of the way, and then later cell phone video shows him hanging on for dear life. The vehicle speeds down I-77. Now, for all yous out there, use people out there, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. And the way you see that is go to prophetradio.com, Prophet radio. And we have a video. You can see my monitor here. You can see myself. You can see Dan's lovely haircut. Yeah. Your hair looks great, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
And you can see this video as well as we discuss it live here on the air. Now, I'm going to play the video and this news article straight from Fox 46.
Rounds on the internet, a man holding onto the hood of a car while it speeds down I-77 in Charlotte. Fascinating video to see.
So the video, hold on, I got to make sure that I had the right screen up. Yep.
Those watching are in shock. And the man who captured that video still can't believe what he saw. He spoke to Fox 46's Will Lewis about what he witnessed.
A witness who didn't want to go on camera says the incident started as a fight here at the Circle K on North Graham. The man refusing to move out of the way, and then video of him hanging on for life as this vehicle speeds down I.
Now, it looks like what's he wearing? He lost his shoes already, but it looks like an older black man. It doesn't look like a teenager, and he's hanging on the hood of a PT Cruiser type or one of those CCR Chevy.
Yeah, CCR Chevy, I believe.
Yeah, and he's hanging on the hood. And the guy's not driving very fast. I mean...
I-77.
A cluster of cars, and I tried to go around them, but there was a lot of cars. And I started getting next to him, and I seen somebody on the hood of a car.
The witness who recorded the video didn't want to give his name and didn't call 911.
I was on the way to work, and I figured somebody else would have, because there's a lot of people.
But
leave it to someone else, right?
He did post it online, and the reaction?
And that's wild. He's on the front of a car going how fast? Like 55 miles an hour at least?
Is a range of emotions from shock to concern.
So he posted the video, but he wanted to stay anonymous. So how do you post a video and still stay anonymous unless it's on someone else's?
Yeah, he said it was on Instagram. I just think he didn't want to get involved with the police. That's all.
But the guy who, if you turned me in, man, you showed my video on TV. And so I don't know if there's going to be any repercussions, the guy looking back at him. But here's another thing. In McDonald's, there is a fight. Come on, people. I know, we're in the middle of a show. I'll call you back. A woman who reportedly, here's another incident of people just getting out of control and losing their mind here during the pandemic, and we're all being released out into the wild again. Well, literally, quote unquote, in bold letters, wild. Everyone's gone wild. A woman reportedly really wanted to mix 3 of the different slushie flavors at McDonald's. You ever had a slushie before, Dan?
I've had them before. I'm not a big fan.
And for those of you who don't know, what is a slushie?
It's ice. It's ice, flavored ice.
With sugar water, basically, is all it is. Now, this is in Ohio. So the video shot by a customer at Ravenna. Am I saying that right? Ravenna, Ohio eatery shows the drink requests turning into an all-out brawl in a matter of seconds. Now, the way you see this, go to prophetradio.com. I'll also post this up on the fan page and stuff as well. I heard hold on, freaking pop-ups. I heard her ask for a slushie with all 3 flavors mixed into one. The witness, Brian Allen, told us. Whereupon the manager informed her that they could not do that. Which why would you have any problems with mixing all 3 flavors?
The only reason I can think of, it's automated. You press one button and it shoots all the flavors in.
I remember going to the roller skating rink, and it was cool, 10 years old, and I go up to the concession stand, and I go, give me a suicide. You know what a suicide is?
That's got to be all the flavors
It's
mixed
all
together.
the flavors mixed together, and you were the coolest kid. Oh, suicides are gross. No, I wanted a suicide, and you drink it, and it always tastes like Dr. Pepper for some reason, because you mix all the flavors and stuff. Maybe that's the secret 23 ingredients. But this lady wanted all 3 flavors of slushies all at once. Why couldn't they just say, I want the... No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do a chocolate, you can do a vanilla, you can do a chocolate vanilla swirl, or if you want a vanilla on the bottom and chocolate on top, or however you like your...
I think with McDonald's, I'm probably saying that it's a technical thing, and they probably have a button where you press it. It's not like old-fashioned when you soda, 2 squirts of this, 2 squirts of that.
It's
Yeah,
not.
and
It's
then
not the
mix it
bar
in.
handle like you have it like Fat Tuesdays when they're serving like the Hurricanes and what's the Wet Willies or whatever, the ice thing. They just kind of...
I think it may be more automated at McDonald's. I think that was the problem.
Well,
I can't see why anyone would not give it to them.
Obviously, this lady had no idea and couldn't understand the concept of it. Yeah. So if you want to see this video, I tried blowing the video up, so it's going to be partial up and down. She's literally behind the counter. And when I say behind the counter, and the way I know this is because they've got the big shields. If you're looking, the big plastic shields to protect everyone from coughing and spitting in each other's mouths. And she is behind the counter already, and she's yelling at the cashier, and the manager's there as well.
Hey, get out! Touch me! Are you fucking crazy? Okay, don't touch me! Touch me!
So the lady's got... The lady has got the cashier in her hand, and she's like, don't touch me. And she looks well dressed. The woman who's causing a fight. She's got her empty cup. She's got her purse, her pocketbook over her over her shoulder, and the manager's in between the two, literally saying, whatever. Zoe, don't worry about it. Don't say anything. Let her go. So, do you see that?
Yeah, she punched her right in the head.
She swung back and actually clocked the manager right in the ear, right in the back of the head.
Do not touch my boss! You just punched me in the face, bitch! I'll destroy the fuck out, bitch!
So you can see the manager's kind of bowed up. She's got some tattoos on her arms. She looks like she's a roughneck. Yeah, check me out one too. And she's talking to, and the manager's white, and the woman that's causing a fit is a black woman, older black woman. And I say older black woman, probably mid-40s and stuff. And the manager's probably just right out of McDonald's college. She's probably got 10 years under her belt. She's probably mid-30s.
Get the fuck out, bitch! No! You get the fuck out!
They're trying to get her out from behind the counter, is what they're trying to do.
Sorry, I've been up all day. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Yes, the picture.
Oh, grabbed her mask, and yanked it off her face. Do you think... Now, watch her a little bit more, Dan. I want your honest opinion as far as... Do you think that she's on something, or there's something wrong with her? Is she inebriated? Is there's something not right, balance-wise?
I think that's the new normal. I think we're seeing this more. Somebody went into near Nashville, Tennessee, went in and they told the person they had to wear a mask. They didn't buy their product, walked out of the supermarket, got out and got a gun, came back and shot the cashier and killed him. I mean, it's the craziness. It's the guys hanging on the hood of a car. It's I think it's bizarro world. It is.
So what if, and playing devil's advocate here, because that's what I do. What if she has been vaccinated, and they push these vaccinations out, whether it be Moderna, whether it be Johnson & Johnson, whether it be Pfizer, or she might have got some kind of generic,
It's obvious she was not vaccinated. She doesn't have metal forks or spoons sticking to her. She's not magnetic, so she couldn't have had the vaccine. It's a black and white,
But, I mean, and you kid about that, but I'm serious. What if there's something wrong? Like, if I get the vaccination And anytime if I eat, like, for example, my wife and I, we were having breakfast, and I'm like, I love sausage. I love scrambled eggs and sausage. But for whatever reason, right now, in the last 6 months, I just can't eat ground up sausage. And I'm talking like Jimmy Dean sausage. Yeah. Because for me, it tastes a little bit more saltier than normal. And I'm like, and Amy's like, oh, we've had it. We've had the coronavirus because food tastes different to me. What if she's different now? What if she was a God-fearing Christian lady, got the vaccine, and now she's this angry person who wants three flavored slushies, and she won't take no for an answer.
Well,
Get off!
So she takes the napkins and throws them off. Go ahead, you can talk.
Well, I mean, I think part of it is just what's going on every day. There's two Americas we have right now, and one side is telling you one thing, another side's telling another, and I think our brains are just oversaturated with things right now. What's going on?
Do you think so?
Yeah.
She's sitting here saying, "I'll go to prison. I'll go to prison."
Again. Whatever. What? Please.
Yeah, but watch her.
What the fuck ever?
There's something wrong with her.
Yeah. Well, there's so much anger out there and the craziness out there.
Shit. I got filmed. She just knows the guy filming her. She's like, shit. I just got filmed. So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit here. She goes back behind the counter again.
Get out of here.
See, look at her.
Mama, bitch.
Here comes the cops.
Call her.
Everybody go back to normal.
She beat her. Fucking bitch.
Hey.
Don't touch her. Don't touch her.
Nope, there she goes. Cop saw it. She's gone. See you later. So there she goes. I think my personal opinion, I think it's the vaccine. I think people are reacting different in whether they're getting one, whether they're getting two, whether they're not getting it at all, and they've had the coronavirus, and their bodies change. Like I taste sausage a little different than I used to. Maybe she had the coronavirus, came out of it. She's like, oh my God, I'm healthy as well. Like I said, she might be a God-fearing woman, and all of a sudden, the littlest things. She never used to be bipolar. Now she's friggin' arguing about three slushy sandwich or whatever.
There is something, because, I mean, that person has gone from having a slushy to being handcuffed, and now there's enough proof that that's felony, and there goes it may go your job, it may go your right to vote.
But
so
did
many
you?
Other things you can lose
The way she was acting was not normal. Yeah. It wasn't like, hey, look, rhyme or reason, or I'm trying to communicate you as one human to another. I want, for example, Dan, I want a triple sauce slushy at McDonald's, and you say, no, you can't have it.
Yep, and you go.
And I go, well, why not?
And people are going nuts. And there isn't one day that I don't see one little headline and glance at it at TMZ.com or something where there's just something out of this world crazy every day that you couldn't make up. If you were writing a movie, you couldn't make this stuff up.
And so there you go. All right, when we come back, we're going to make up some more stuff. You're looking to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
There was some guy, cop in New York City.
New York City?
Yes, and he was going on and saying that if you had the people who are doing these mass shootings are all people that had the vaccines. All the shooters are people who had the vaccines.
What's that?
He was saying that all these mass shootings that they have, which they usually have 10 mass shootings a weekend or even more, and they said all these shootings are from people who had the vaccine. The vaccine's causing them to shoot people.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I had no idea about that story, but what I'm saying is people are different. Their taste buds are different. Their mentality's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Whether it be vaccine or not vaccine or antibodies or whatever.
I haven't had have to use your facility.
Well, I'm going first.
Yeah. Young Dior.
JK, really?
Yeah. Hey. I wear my heart on my sleeves, that's an issue. People asking me what the fuck is up with you. I'm go Super Saiyan like on Goku. One click on your bitch like Roku. People doubt on me, one beef. Tell me to meet them in the streets. I'm not trying to have no beef, I just wanna be in the industry. Yeah. Lot of J, yeah. Chillin', lot of J, ayy. I don't even know where I'm going anymore. I'm just trying to flow in. Young Dior, I just had this shit that I had with from the bottom, yeah. Got a lot of demons, got a lot of them, yeah. I'm just trying to young got them, ayy. Yeah. I wear my heart on my sleeve, that's an issue. People asking me what the fuck is up with you. I'm going Super Saiyan like on Goku, yeah. Young teardrop, yeah. Got a lot of issues. Yeah, I really miss you.
JK, really?
People always telling me that I should quit the shit I do. But this is therapy, I don't expect you to. Believe in me. I got lobby. Demons in my head. Screaming, wishing me dead. I'm just trying to get there. Yeah, I'll stare. Staring at my life in the rearview mirror. Yeah, I got a lot of issues. With my heart on my sleeve, people tell me what the fuck is with you.
Oh.
Going Super Saiyan Goku.
She okay?
Yeah, she just was wondering when I was coming home.
Oh,
I got to call her when I get to Album House, so.
okay. Why? Need you to pick up something?
Yeah, she will. So we can rock and roll through this.
Huh?
We can rock and roll through this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Yeah.
what I was going to show you. Right here where it says 37. What are you doing? Right here where it says 37.
Yeah, I was looking at that's how much time we've got on there, but you're also going to be cutting
Right,
blank
so
spaces out of that.
We'll run this to minute or hour 5.
Okay.
Because I've got a lot of stuff to add to it, so I don't mind if the whole show is.
Yeah, and you're going to be you'll be condensing that 37 down to about 34 maybe?
Probably.
When you cut the... I have to find a way to do something on YouTube. You know they have the joke of the day, and all the people go to YouTube and look at it. I got to do something like that I can get just people to look at it once a day. You know, and then do ads.
Don't go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Do TikTok. How long's your jokes? Less than 30 seconds?
Yeah, well...
Go to TikTok, Dan. I'm telling you.
It has to be 30 seconds?
It doesn't have to be anything, but I'm telling you, if you for the effort that it takes to create the video, upload the video, edit the video, do all that stuff, just go to TikTok and do your...
Well, I was thinking of doing a video where you have the guy, you know, it lip syncs, you know, you have a character. You know how you see Calvin and Hobbes every day? I'd create a character that would say jokes every day. And one day, you know, and it would be awful jokes, like the grilled cheese joke.
But you have to understand the traffic for watching videos for stuff like that has now changed to TikTok.
TikTok, okay.
I was even thinking, I was thinking about creating my own thing and doing.
And how do you get ad revenue up? People just, if they've watched a lot, people will ask you to put ads on it. So if it gets a lot of views, that's how it works.
I see people all the time that barely put up shit. They already have 3,000-4,000 followers.
Okay.
And I'm like, Jesus.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, and something where I can do something where it takes me 15 minutes, half-hour day, and get something like that, and just something if you can get $25 a week, something good. If you make more, I mean, just something like that,
you want to
some
see
revenue.
Your balance? You don't want to see your
I'm sitting down.
No, I'll wait. I don't want to. You're at the. I don't know how they do it because you'll sit at like $8, or I'm sorry, you'll sit at like $6, and all of a sudden it'll jump to like $8, $6. And
It's every quarter. Every quarter they. It's like
it is. All right, so I'm going to talk about this girl lost her eyelash, and then lead into what's really in your burrito. The burrito story is with the Olympics.
Yeah.
This track athlete ate something where the meat had a hormone in it that's illegal, and when she got drug tested.
Is that the truth, or that's her story?
That's where
switched?
she's. Yeah. That's what she's,
okay.
So we'll play on that. Me and you can figure it out.
Yes.
But the girl with the eyelash, it's horrible. Because you'll have to talk about Marley.
Boy, Marley was barking and growling at Ron, and they told me that she does not like men, and at their house, John, she will not go near John, the father, and John is nice as can be. He's 70-year-old, nice guy, and Marley just loves me. She jumps all over me. So.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Wait for the truck to go by. See, when I talk to you we do, is this going somewhere?
Yeah.
This is the microphone that I use. This one here. See the little one?
Okay.
That's my little bullet microphone when I talk to you. And then all this goes through anyway, so you don't care.
No, I'm interested in all the technology of it, of course.
Right. All right, here we go. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contacts there, and you'll see all the different links that links us to you and you to us as well. And while you're there, you want some free stuff. Of course, everyone wants something for free. Sign up for the free stuff, and we'll give you some. We got some sticker packets, some magnetics stuff to put on your cars, put on your refrigerator, hold up anything, your bills, your late notice, your your rent payment up on your refrigerator. And in the studio with us this week, we have a very special guest with us, and all the way from the Is This Going Somewhere podcast that you can also hear on iHeartRadio. I have Mr. I'm going to say just Dan. I call you IT Dan. So yeah. Dan's here in the studio. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's nice to be here.
So you were out there looking at your new truck that you bought from me.
Yes, I'm thrilled. I'm excited.
And you said that's the nicest thing you've ever had?
It's the nicest vehicle I have ever owned. Yes, it is.
Is it really? What kind of vehicle did you have before?
Well, I mean, what I'm driving now is a 2008 Kia Spectra, which, I've used that as a pickup truck, loading lumber on the roof and strapping things down.
Now, do you have dents and stuff on this Kia?
Oh, the dents on the roof, and it will pop. You hear the bang and the pop when you put, I'll put a whole load of lumber on, probably 400 pounds of lumber on, just right on the roof on a blanket.
So you're that guy.
It down. I'm that guy.
You're that guy
in those videos. Yes.
Driving down the highway
But I strap it down really good, and I go a little bit over the speed limit.
And so, other than that, strapping stuff on your car, you also, your wife and your wife also, to make, I don't want to say ends meet, because I know you're not struggling. You're doing well through the pandemic. Now, you work for Home Depot for how many years?
18 years.
18 years, and you've left Home Depot because?
Well, because of the pandemic. I'm still employed by Home. They call me up and I help them out with certain projects, but I haven't been into work physically in over a year.
All right, and so to make ends meet, you strap wood to your car and you build stuff, right?
Yeah, I'll build things in my workshop. I'll do little projects, put railings on a porch for different people.
Make sure you talk right into that microphone.
Yeah, and I'll put railings on a porch for people. Do some small jobs, build tables.
Now your wife does some odds and ends stuff too. She watches like cats?
She watches cats and dogs and elderly people and
in your gated community neighborhood where people have died from COVID.
Yes. Yeah. And most of the time she goes to the house and there's nobody home, and she'll come over and watch. She watches a stray cat because these people own 3 homes, and they can't be at all 3 homes at the same time. So when they're not here, she watches their stray cat for them.
And who is she watching now? You said you've got a like a mongrel or something?
Yeah, a little mongrel or a mutt named Marley. Very cute little dog, about 15 pounds, and she's just a joy. She's really good. And she wants to lick you to death and jump all over you, that's all. And she's just happy that you're around, and she loves going for walks. We take her, put her on the leash and take her for a walk.
Now, today, we all three of us, you, myself, and a good friend of ours, Ron of the station, we all went out to lunch. Now, Ron picked you up, and you said that Marley was growling at him.
Yes, and I've never heard her growl and be that aggressive because she's just like a lovable little dog. But the people that own them, the woman who owns them is Dottie. She's 98 years old, and right now she's in Washington State. She left North Carolina, and she's in Washington State for a vacation. She'll be 99 in July, and she walks that dog every day.
Does the dog want to be walked? Or?
Yeah, the dog
okay,
loves to be walked,
sure.
and she loves to get out and walk, and we've walked the dog with her, and you can't keep up with her. She's got more energy than we do. She's the Energizer Bunny.
So
98 years old.
98 years old, has a dog named Marley.
Yeah.
Has Marley ever done this? Has she ever attacked Dottie at all? Like this woman right here, Kelsey Salmon, S-A-L-M-O-N, tripped. Hold on, I got to read this right here. A dog bites woman's eyelids and rips them off by a chihuahua. Horrifying photos here to show. All right. So Kelsey, she had her eyelashes done and ended up in the worst possible way. A little dog attacking her, biting off and the finished product when she had her eyelashes done, and completely removed her left entire eyelid. The photos are brutal, and the way you can see this, go over to prophetradio.com, click on DeaconLive, and for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well, and you can see this video, and you can see the photos as well here. So warning, these are very, very queasy. According to Kelsey, her normal lash lady was booked, so she went to a lash tech who worked out of their home. And the lady had a pet chihuahua. Kelsey says the dog jumped on her and on her lash bed. I don't know what that means. On her lash bed. And, when she was getting her lashes done. And then she was petting it. Everything was fine. But then when she was almost done, she said that she sat up and the dog was on the floor looking up at her. And then out of nowhere, it happened. It happened so fast I didn't have time to pull back. He jumped up at me and bit me in the face and broke my eyelid off. When I say broke my eyelid off, here are the pictures. So hold on. Now, warning. I know I love warning. These videos are nasty. So here's her eyelashes. They're kind of stuck together and stuff. Now, she's a young girl. She's probably early 20s, mid 20s.
23.
Probably 23. And this is her eyelid, her eyelash back sewn back on.
Yeah.
And then this is it off.
Yeah, that is creepy and stuff. And I just don't know why people just can't be normal. They have to cover their body with tattoos. They have to poke big holes in their ears. And I had
a whole bunch of holes poked in my ears, and I had all that stuff. Yeah. But I don't have them anymore. I didn't want to be the 30-year-old with. But see, in history, what you don't know about eyelashes is that in the 1800s and everything, even the 1700s, people thought that the more sex you had, your eyelashes would fall out. So if you wanted to be, quote unquote, less likely to look like a whore, you would put fake eyelashes on to make you more attractive. So that's where the whole eyelash thing came to be. That's why we are attracted to women, over evolution of humans and things and stuff. Dan's favorite word. But this woman had her complete eyelid removed. And look at it. How do you blink? How do you... You don't do anything.
Yeah, how do you sleep?
Well, obviously, she got it done right away, and they stitched it back on. They don't show the end photo of what happened, of course. This just happened the other day. But, yeah, she was getting her eyelashes, her fake eyelashes done. And some people, you can tell when they've had them done professionally, and you can tell some people just kind of peel and stick type things. But she was getting her eyelashes done professionally and ripped her whole entire eyelid off. Ooh, look at that. I mean, it looks like... She's got her eye closed. There might be tape or something on her eye.
Yeah, that's not a pretty picture. But I'm someone, I've never had a tattoo because I don't have a T-shirt that I wear on Tuesday that I'd say, gee, maybe I want to wear this next week.
Right.
If you look at me, I very rarely have, unless someone gave me a T-shirt with some writing on it.
Right. So, Dan, you were talking about you had what kind of sandwich did you have today at O'Charlie's?
Today I had a sausage sandwich with onions.
And peppers.
Yep, and peppers.
And peppers and all that stuff. This woman right here, a tainted burrito, quote-unquote tainted burrito, led to a 4-year ban on the record holder named Shelby Houlihan. Now, Houlihan is a restaurant I know down in Florida. I think it's a bar, too. No connection at all. Shelby Houlihan, the American record holder for the 1,500 and the 5,000 meter, posted on social media that she has been banned for 4 years for following a positive test. What she concluded was tainted pork burrito. Now, how does a tainted pork burrito make you fail a test? Houlihan's announcement on her Instagram on Monday arrives days before the U.S. starts the Olympic track and field over in Eugene, Oregon, where the top 3 events earn a spot on the postponed Tokyo Games. She finished 11th in the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympics in the 5,000 meter race. The 28-year-old Houlihan said she received an email from the Athletic Integrity Unit on January 14th notifying that her drug testing sample returned finding an anabolic steroid. What's that word right there? Nandrolone?
Nandrolone.
Nandrolone. Thank you, Dan. Said that since she learned this, it's long been understood by all these different words, the World Anti-Doping Agency, that eating pork can lead to a false positive for the nanodrome. Since certain types of pig produce a naturally in high, since it's produced naturally in pigs in a high amount, pig organ meat, which is called offal, OFFAL. Have you ever had that before in your sandwich?
I've probably have had it, but they didn't tell me when I went.
Has high levels of nanodrolone or whatever it is. So Houlihan made a list of all the stuff that she ate up to prior to December 15th. Tests that produced an adverse analytical finding of about an anabolic steroid. So we concluded that its most likely explanation was a burrito purchased and consumed approximately 10 hours before the drug testing from an authentic Mexican food truck that serves pig offal, pig OFFAL, offal, near my house in Beaverton, Oregon. So I notified the Olympic committee, and she says that's the source. So what do you think? I mean, do you think that's the reason? Well, the reason why I say it, hold on, before you answer that. When I've ever had to apply for a job at somewhere, and they always ask me in some places, have you eaten poppy seeds? Because poppy seeds themselves, like if you eat a poppy seed bagel or anything like that, I think Seinfeld did an episode of that, where if you eat a poppy seed bagel, you would fail the drug test because it would pop up as cocaine. But you would literally have to eat it like 30 minutes before you take the drug test. So this woman who's a runner has shown up for this anabolic steroid that, quote unquote, is only produced in pig meat, organ meat that from a pig, and she just happened to find a place that sells this stuff right next to her house. Is she trying to cover things up?
It sounds, very skeptical to me. I'm someone that when these people race, when they're racing, they are training every single day, eating healthy. I don't think someone who does that kind of running goes around and eats burritos anyway. But I think that it's so competitive, and if 28 years old as a runner is on your downside, and I think these people are like baseball players, like hockey players, football players, that they're losing it, and they'll do whatever they can so they can stay competitive. And
so you think she's taking the drug?
I think she's taking drugs.
And
That's
she's blaming it on the burrito.
Yes, blaming it on the burrito.
So when you say that people that normally, like this person, wouldn't eat a burrito, I would think that yes, because she burns so many calories. Yeah. You ever seen what's the swimmer's name who got busted for marijuana?
Mark Spitz?
No, the other guy, the guy that blew him out of the water.
Oh, Phelps.
And he had to eat 18,000 calories a day. A day because he was burning so much. So for her to eat a beef burrito that just happens to be down the road, it doesn't sound like it's part of her meal plan. It sounds like she's trying to make an excuse for having some kind of, like you said, an anabolic steroid. Think of what's the bicyclist guy who got busted many times.
Armstrong, yes.
And he was busted with some kind of steroid that it was approved, it wasn't approved. I've got my balls. I'm on treatment because of my balls.
They all have a kind of story, and this comes up, and blame it on the burrito. And I don't know this person, and I'm just calling bullshit on this.
Are you calling? I think I'm gonna title this episode "Blame It on the Burrito."
Yeah,
because there's a lot of shit happening.
Yes, the Flying Burrito Brothers did her in.
Right.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna take another short little break, and we got one more thing to get into, and then we'll let you guys get back to what you got to do. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Are we gonna do the one about the guy in jail? The guy that got swallowed by the whale.
Like I do all these. I pull all these articles just to see where it'll go.
This is leading somewhere else.
If we can get to it, yeah. Why? Do you want to talk about the guy?
No, we can do it. I would just say, is this going? Are they going to have to? Is this going to have to add another chapter to the Bible to put this in next to Jonah?
Right.
And why aren't there evangelists saying, see, there is a God. They had the whale, and the story is...
Well, save it, all right?
Yeah,
Save
okay.
it. Because we're at 51 minutes. So what we'll do is we'll do 2 short 5-minute segments, and that'll push us out to my cutoff time.
Do you know where the funnel is?
Yes.
Okay. I bought some 3/4 inch split wire loom tubing wire conduit. You know that stuff.
Yeah.
That's for the that's so that I can run the camera wire back, and I want to do it right. Do it, and that's my plan for tomorrow.
Well, good. That'll sound like fun.
Yeah, there was no. I looked at what you have to do there's an interface that has to plug in. There's wiring that has to be done. I would have never been able to do it all here at that.
Mm-hmm.
And pry panel. I bought panel prying tools to get the radio out, and all the different things you need to do. And I'm gonna have to. I got like 6 different booklets to put it in. I'm gonna put them on my laptop. The PDF files,
right?
And I can have that sitting on the passenger seat as I'm working. It's the only way to.
When you lift I'm sure you'll find this out, but there's a place to hide a gun in in the Chevy truck.
Is it underneath in the console?
Well, you lift the top console up.
Yeah.
There's another place that's got a lock, and it's got a position to hold your gun in place, and that you can actually lock it.
Oh, okay. I don't have a gun.
I know, but it's one of the things that Chevy has. That's.
Yeah. Do you remember a movie where they had the gun hidden in the armrest of the car?
Was it a Cadillac?
It was a car. It was at the airport, and they had it in the catalog. I think it was that movie with Al Pacino where they robbed the bank in the 70s, and it was a big.
Well,
big hit,
let's finish this because I want to get you home because it's getting late. For you, not for me. I still got another 4 hours. I'll probably be up here till 10 o'clock. Ready?
I'm ready.
Is that really a woman?
Yeah. Was your father-in-law opinionated like on my side? You know, because I mean, left versus right. Was he more liberal, or was he more? I hate to use that word. So.
He was very he sees he loves children. Let's do it that way.
Yeah.
He's a fucking elementary school, junior high teacher, high school teacher. Okay. So there's that aspect that he has a value of seeing all walks of life and everything like that. So there's a value there.
Okay.
So he's very opinionated that way. But he's also a smart man. If that makes any sense. He's very, he understands that in order to make money, you have to spend money. All the basic, the government should never give you, get off your fucking ass and work, that type of stuff. So as far as the social mentality, he's more of a conservative.
On that way.
But he has to understand his teaching, his philosophy and stuff, to kids, he has to be a little bit more liberal.
Okay, on that side, because I know a lot of your talking points to me are coming from the right side, but sometimes I think you just do that just to argue with me.
I love to go both directions. That's the thing. Yeah. So if I'm, by all means, my opinion is my side. So if you can see a different side of it, by all means, throw it in.
Oh, and I mean, in this side, I look at stuff now, and I can, if I turn around and look at one article. And it used to be a dead cat in the road, and someone would say, "Oh, it got hit by a car," and then another newspaper would say, "No, a dog killed it," and they said, "No, you can see that it died from old age, or it fell out of somebody's car or fell out of the tree and landed there," and there'd be like 6 different ways. Now that you get a story that says, "No, the cat got hit by the car, but then it got up and it walked away even after it was dead," and then it will say, "And the cat had wings and it flew up into the tree," and
I know you told me.
it's all over the place if you read the things.
The difference between DeaconLive and Is This Going Somewhere?
Yeah.
When we do Is This Going Somewhere? It's you leading the my questions.
Yeah.
In this, because you've never done this with me, it's me leading the questions, and you. I want the flip side of the coin or whatever. So. Not that, unless you want to do this every Wednesday with me, that's fine. I mean, we could split the profits and do all this stuff. But it's a big commitment.
Yeah. I have to, do that because I don't really have any, I'll have to talk to Kathy about that. So.
But you would have to be here every Wednesday. You'd have to, that's the thing. And I broadcast at 2 o'clock is what I try to do, but that's totally up to you, Dan.
But that sounds good. Maybe we could start a little earlier. But...
No. 12 o'clock would be the earliest I could start. Because that's when the first...
That's when you can start drinking legally.
Well, I've always told myself, always 12 o'clock. So...
This is going somewhere.
Dan, you can't text me stuff like that during the show.
Okay.
All right, where are we at? All right, so we're going to come back. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to wrap up the show with the Girl Scouts have too many cookies. I'm going to talk about, we're going to talk real quickly on schools canceling holiday names and then Swallowed by the Whale. And then you can jump in with whatever you want to say.
Okay.
I want to talk about the other stuff, but it's okay. Let's save it for another show. But
because I think the canceling holidays is more political than.
Do you want me to talk about something else?
Yeah, do we have a different thing? But it's up to you. I just don't know how that would go along with the other things.
Well, we can talk about. Do you know the glue girl? About the girl who put Gorilla Glue in her hair?
I think I did hear that one before. Yeah.
All right. But I have no opinion about that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Texas is going to be the new Bitcoin capital because of energy.
Yeah, I heard their energy prices are going through the roof.
No, not in Texas.
Yeah, that they people's electric bills are going crazy high, and they may have another outage because of the heat.
All right, let's.
But that's political stuff.
Well, I don't get political, but I just bring you to the front of what's happening.
Light and fluffy.
Light and fluffy. And I bring it, to the forefront and say, hey, what do you think about that? What do you think that this is going on? Just to let you know, hey, this is what's happening. All right, go back to the schools then. Because then we can put in the Bible stuff.
Okay.
That's where I was going when you said Bible, so I'm going to do that, right? So hold on. And then you want to talk about the whale, and then we'll wrap up the show. We'll take a break and then wrap up the show with we're swallowed by whale.
Up, down.
Real live Jonah. Here's a video with this too, so. Yeah, make sure you talk directly into that microphone. Because if you don't, then you started getting way out here and it sounds really...
Yep, and then the levels, you have to mess around with the levels. And
I don't.
More time.
Yeah.
Do it right the first time.
Yep. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for every musical artist that you hear here on Deacon Live, they are all independently owned. They're all unsigned artists. Make sure you show them some love as well. And the way you show them some love is go over to ProphetRadio.com, PROPHET Radio. You can click on all their little logo boxes and stuff and show them some love just the way you've shown us love as well. And we appreciate that. And also, let's spread a little bit more love. Over to my far right-hand side, we have Dan from Is This Going Somewhere podcast. How are you? You doing all right? You hanging in there?
Yes, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing very well today. It's
I noticed you went outside and checked on the truck like 3 or 4 times.
Yes. I have this grin on my face like I just humped the neighbor's cat.
Jesus. And you're putting a backup camera and all that into the truck. So are you capable? Are you knowledgeable?
Oh.
Well, they call you IT Dan,
yes.
So you should be able to do all that.
Yeah, and I put very many stereos in my course of my life, and they just get more complicated as they go along, but you get the right adapters, you solder all the wires, and just it's taking your time and doing it.
Do you have to do any soldering?
Yeah, I'll have to solder about 8 wires.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm always afraid. I never could solder because I'm always afraid. I didn't know there was flux at one day. And my neighbor at one time said, hey, do you have flux? I'm like going, what's flux?
Oh, that would be soldering pipes, copper pipes. When you do wires, you twist the wires together, and the whole key to that is you heat up the wire, get the wire really hot, then you touch the solder, and it just sucks into the heat, and that pulls it right in.
See, that's why I don't do soldering, obviously.
And you solder it, and then crimpers can fall off. You go over a bump, something happens. I just like soldering, and then, electrical tape, and it always works good for me.
Now, Dan, when you're in school, did you look forward to like certain times of the year? Did you look forward to summer break? Did you look forward to spring break? Any kind of like 3-day weekends and stuff?
Mostly summer vacations, what I look forward to.
Did you do anything exciting or spectacular during your summer breaks?
The only thing we did, we'd go camping for 2 weeks, and it was the only time I saw my father at all the whole year was the 2 weeks of vacation.
Really? How come? Because that's the 2 weeks that he had you? I mean, was it a broken home?
No, it was my father, the rest of the year was his time, and he'd come home from work, and he'd pick up the newspaper and read the newspaper, and all we saw was 2 hands on the edge of the newspaper, and every once in a while he'll turn the page.
Like the typical black and white sitcom where it's like, where's Timmy at? And you're like, you'd see the paper just rustle a little bit.
Yeah, it's that. He read the newspaper all the time.
Now, in the Randolph Township in New Jersey, a New Jersey school district is facing backlash after recently deciding to rename Columbus Day, and the decision that was being made was that they were going to remove all holiday names from the school year calendar. So that means no Columbus Day, no St. Patrick's Day. The only names that they're actually keeping on the roster for the calendar is Thanksgiving, which is, I mean, if you're going to give away if you're giving away Columbus Day, isn't Thanksgiving kind of the same thing where we kind of encroached on?
No, they will be taking all the days off.
No, they're keeping the Randolph school directors voted unanimously on Thursday to keep the specific holidays off of the keeping them off. I'm sorry. This, and I read it wrong. Thank you, Dan, for correcting me. Which means Thanksgiving, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Christmas. All the holidays have now been designated as. I thought you had your glasses.
This day off.
It's just as a day off, and the calendars let's see. I'm trying to read here. So the move comes as the board decided on May to change Columbus Day to Indigenous People Day on the school calendar. Now, we don't have anything against the calendar. We don't have anything. We don't want anyone to be hurt or anyone's feelings or anything like that. Board member Doreen Roche said on Thursday before the vote, I don't really think it's the board's responsibility to be naming these holidays. Another board member said, Ronald Conti. So basically what they're saying is we're taking all these names off of the calendar, and it's just going to be called days off. So we don't offend anyone. We don't have any, I don't want anyone getting upset. And that's fine. That's fine if you want to have a board meeting for the school district. But the problem that the public is having, it was done in private. They had no opportunity to go out there and protest, or not protest, give their personal value as far as renaming these holidays as just days off.
Yeah. And I think that, first of all, it should never be called Columbus Day. He didn't discover America. America was already here. People were living here. He didn't discover it. But I think it's somebody that did not like that name. And if they named it from Columbus Day to something else, they would probably be fine. I just think
either way, it's a flip of the coin. Yeah. We want Indigenous People Day. Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't like Indigenous people. I mean, they've raped and pillaged our land, or there's massacres out there. And I'm just throwing things out there just to see if it'll stick against the wall. But I mean, there were bad tribes. There were good tribes. There were good Colombians. I almost said. Good Italians, and there were bad Italians. And you were talking about a movie about what's his name, that was the gun came out of the handle of the car.
Yeah, and that was Al Pacino. Dog Day Afternoon.
You got it. There you go. Yeah. All right. So speaking of a Dog Day Afternoon, this gentleman right here had a Dog Day Afternoon. A humpback whale gulps a man and spits him back out in the Cape Cod. He's a lobsterman, and what that means is he's a diver. He's going down to get lobsters. So Michael Packard said he was diving. Now listen to this. He was diving when he ended up in the marine giant's mouth for about 30 to 45 seconds in Provincetown, Massachusetts. The Leviathan spit him out, and Mr. Packard was left with nothing more than a suspected dislocated knee. Despite his wife's pleas to get another job, he has no plans of giving up his 40-year career of diving off Cape Cod. Now, do you know where Cape Cod is?
That's my old hunting ground. That's where we go on vacation with my dad.
So a humpback whale, can a humpback whale accidentally scoop up a human?
I think it could. It can. I mean, you could. I saw someone step on gum today. It can happen.
It can happen. Yeah. Big, huge parking lot. Someone can step on a piece of gum. Humpback whales can grow up to about 50 feet long and weigh about 36 tons, according to the National World Wildlife Fund Corporation. And there's about 60,000 of them, I guess. So Mr. Packard, 56, I guess his age doesn't matter, he and his crewmate took their boat out to, what's this place right here? John Jay?
Jana J off Herring Cove on Friday morning.
Do you know where that's at?
No, I do not. I know where Herring Cove is. I don't know. That's the name of the boat, the Jana J.
Oh, okay. Off the Herring Cove on Friday morning, where the conditions were excellent and the water visibility, is it really 20 feet deep that you can actually see it?
Yeah, well, that's the one thing we would go to lakes and we go to the ocean, and you can see in the water. I mean, when I can't tell you how far I could see, but you could stand in the water. You could stand in the water and you could look down and count your feet and see your toes and everything in the water. It's crystal clear up in New England.
How many feet are you counting?
Yep. No, for both of my feet and all 10 toes. But you could see clearly. You could put a quarter on the floor and find it. It was that clear.
Really?
Water. Yeah.
So how far you could see down 20 feet deep? Is it that clear?
Yes, you can see. You can see. It was amazing how. Down here everything is muddy and murky and
because of the currents and
the clay, and the temperature.
Well, so there you go. All right, so for more on this story, let's hear it right from the whale's mouth, I guess you would say, right?
Climate change is one of the greatest issues facing the world today, and decarbonising the global economy is the challenge of our lifetime. I'm Libby Potter, and in the first episode of Transitioning to Carbon Net Zero, I'll be talking with Bill Winters, Group Chief Executive of Standard Chartered.
Fuck you,
we
Bill
have to
Winters.
make significant progress between now and 2030 for 2050 to be the right end date. The time to get this right is now.
Transitioning to Carbon Net Zero, paid and presented by Standard Chartered. Out now, wherever you get your podcasts.
So, this news reporter caught this guy sitting on the curb, I guess waiting for his Uber. He's still in like scrubs and stuff, talking about the incident. He's like sitting on the side of a strip mall and talking about his ordeal with this humpback whale. So let's see. This is Michael Packard.
I'm a lobster diver out of Provincetown, Massachusetts. And I was diving today, and I jumped over and I got down to about 45 feet of water, and all of a sudden I just felt this huge bump and everything went dark, and I could sense that I was moving, and I was like, oh my God, did I just get bit by a shark? And then I
as we're doing construction in the background, so pardon that.
Felt around and I realized there was no teeth, and I had felt really no great pain.
So he said he was swimming, he got bumped, and then everything went dark. So then he said he looked down, he said he didn't see any blood, so realized there was no teeth.
And then I realized, oh my
and his pager's going off in the background.
God, I'm in a whale's mouth.
Then he said he's in a whale's mouth.
He's in a whale's mouth.
I'm in a whale's mouth, and he's trying to swallow me. And I thought to myself, okay, this is it.
I'm done for. This is it. Cashing in.
Die. And I thought about my kids and my wife. And
of course you did.
There was no getting out of there. And then all of a sudden, he went up to the surface and just erupted and started shaking his head, and I just got thrown in the air and landed in the water, and I was free, and I just floated there, and I was just, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I got out of that. And I'm here to tell
So he's
it,
walking. Look at him. No crutch. What did they ejected him from the hospital? No crutches, no wheelchairs or anything?
They said he had a suspected dislocated knee.
Right. So here he is hobbling in the parking lot.
I thought my legs were broken, but I'm all bruised up, and I made it.
I made it. So
what we're not hearing is the other side of the story.
Did they ask the whale?
The whale goes back to see the other whales, and he goes, "You are not going to believe what happened. I had this thing in my mouth, and it didn't taste really like crap, so I knew it wasn't a lawyer, but I think I had a human being in my mouth."
So, I mean, it's a little vague. It's one of those stories where it's like there's no really eyewitnesses. He was out on a boat with his friend. You don't hear him saying, no, he's full of crap. He got drunk and fell off the back of the boat, or so I had to drag him in here, and in the process, I twisted his leg.
This one I would say probably happened. I don't see what.
Do you really think that happened?
Yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, it was in the Bible, and it's all true. Yeah.
So what do you have to do now? Yeah. So the Bible's true?
Oh yeah, it was written by man. So what do you think?
Okay. So I don't know. I mean, his story is just a little. I mean, they just caught up with him. There's not like a flood of news reporters. He's just sitting on the curb talking about it. I don't know if it's true or not. But something else that is true is the Girl Scouts have a surplus of cookies, and we'll dive into that and then let you guys get back to what you got to do. Hold on, stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I see your blank spots you got to go through. You got bald spots on your lawn. I mean, blank spots on your video.
Yeah.
Now, you have to go through, sometimes you may go through it and you're talking and do you ever go in and replace when you say a line and it's a little messed up? Do you ever go by and change it?
I'll cut it down to where it makes sense.
Oh, okay. But have you ever gone and you say a line and said, I screwed that up and let me just record it? Again,
no,
yeah.
What I'll do is, because I know I'm editing it, if I screw up a line completely, I'll stop, take a beat, and then try that sentence again, because I know I can cut out. I had a full train of thought, then I garbled it up, and then I wait, and then I continue that, what I garbled up here, and I can cut, and then take it, and that's why I like that as a program, because what it'll do is it'll fade it nice and even to where it sounds like one big long sentence.
Yeah, I use Adobe Premiere to fade, crossfade, and fade in and out.
Does it do it automatically?
No, it doesn't do it automatically.
Yeah.
So, and it is a learning curve with it. So. But, all
right.
And you go with what you know. So.
All right, let me pee one more time, and then we'll talk about Girl Scouts, and you can go away. Not go away, but, get home to your wife.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I just feel bad keeping you away, so I want to get you back on the road and stuff. So that's all. Right?
Okay, that sounds good.
I mean, you can stay here all night if you want.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. It's a little hot, that's all, but I'm enjoying it.
Is it?
No, we're good.
I know, that's what I said. I wanted the guy to come over here and fix it, so it wouldn't do this.
It feels, but you'd have to have the fan on anyway. That's what's having the AC on. Yeah, but that makes the noise, background noise.
I know.
The product is more important than my personal comfort.
Are you that hot?
No, I'm a little hot. That's all. Like you talked about rolling down the windows. I have the AC on 365 days a year. I don't roll the windows down.
All right.
Just maybe at a drive-through.
All right. All right, we'll talk about the Girl Scouts, and then we'll wrap it up. I'd like to give people as much information as I can, so we'll talk about the Glue Girl for a minute, and then we'll go into... Ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio.com, and click on the social contacts. And while you're there, get yourself some free swag. Be heard. You can click on the Be Heard section, and also make sure you like, share us, and do all the stuff that links us to you and you to us as well. We are fortunate, and I'd like to thank Dan. He's here in the studio. He's from the Is This Going Somewhere podcast, and you can check him out on iHeartRadio as well. He's got a lot of stuff talking about, it's a darker conversation about COVID-19 and the way his life has been affected, him and his wife as well. And his stories, I think we're up to season 5, Dan?
Season 5.
Season 5. And it's a great hit. It's an older, I say older, a lot of generations listen to it, but we see a lot of older generations listen to it as well. So, Dan, do you know about the Gorilla? You ever use Gorilla Glue? You're a carpenter.
Yes, I have. And I want you to say right now, I want to tell you that no gorillas were killed making that glue. Just that's my preface.
That's always a good thing. Yeah. Now, there's a girl out there who claim to fame was her name was called Gorilla Glue Girl. And if you don't know who she is, Tessica Brown actually ran out of hairspray and then bought Gorilla Glue that said Aerosol Ultimate Hold Adhesive and sprayed it on her hair. And she had a cap. It was hard as a rock. And she couldn't get it off. It was a big ordeal for a while. And so now, a little update on that story is Tessica Brown is launching her business this Wednesday under the moniker Forever Hair. She is drawing inspiration from her own sticky situation, telling us that she wanted to create products for folks suffering from hair loss damage just because she knows firsthand how that feels. So she's created her own hair loss thing, and here's the actual video. She likes that she's a black woman, and she has her hair like matted down, almost like you would mousse it down. And she used Gorilla Glue spray adhesive on her hair. So now she's got her own hairline products. So hopefully she does well in her expectations as far as, I'm sure she's gonna kill it. She's gonna kill it in the community because she's got a lot of support as far as what's happening to her with the Gorilla Glue hair.
And I did watch the news when that did happen a few months ago, and I was looking at it, and I'm just thinking to myself, there is a difference between intelligence and stupidity, because intelligence has its limits. And it's crazy, but, maybe she's going to come out and make herself rich this way.
Yeah. Well, I hope she does better. I hope she does well. She's got some big old eyelashes here. Stay away from Chihuahua dogs. Yeah. Now, Dan, are you a fan of like sweets and stuff? Do you eat sweets in your house?
I do eat some sweets, but I prefer just a vanilla cookie, nothing with the frosting or anything.
Now, do you get like the Milanos, the Pepperidge Farm?
I did like Pepperidge Farm cookies, but most of the cookies I like are ones that are just the biscuit itself, no additives or
Is there like a cream in the middle of it or no?
No, ones without the cream. I'm good.
Did you know that if you took an Oreo cookie, you know what an Oreo is, or Hydrox, depending on, and you took the string, the cream cheese, that's in a can.
Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz, thank you, Dan. And you spray it on an Oreo cookie and put the whole thing in your mouth, it tastes just like a cheesecake. Did you know that?
No, I did not know
Do me a favor, try that. And for you out there, if you try it and you have a video and you want to send it to us, you can send us your video at Deacon. Email me your video at deacon@prophetradio.com at any time. Now, are you a fan of the Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah, some of them, certain ones.
Which ones do you like?
Oh, the ones with the fudge stripe are good.
Okay, I just think they're like mass produced, and they have there's no talent, there's no head chef behind the scenes making these cookies that are so undesirable or they were just horrible. I think they're just horrible. I think they're just punched out like manufactured, boom, 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 boom. There's no thought process to Girl Scout cookies, and I hate them. I'll tell you right now, I hate Girl Scout cookies. Some people will swear by them. Some people will buy them and freeze them for months.
Basically, I buy them just to help the person out that's selling them. You know, somebody at work will say, "Hey, my daughter's got Girl Scout cookies," and you know, being a good employee and a friend, you just buy a box. But I wouldn't go to the store and buy them. No.
No, you don't have that. But some people like it's an actual craving. The Girl Scouts have had an unusual problem this year. 15 million boxes of unsold cookies have happened. The 109-year-old organization says that coronavirus shut down the in-person sales at the cookie booths. The Girl Scouts usually make around $800 million each year, selling $200 million of boxes of cookies. Now, I won't say how many cookies are in box were sold this year, but 15 million boxes still remain at the local councils or at the bakers authorized to make them. So the councils and the bakers are trying to sell them or donate the boxes that are left. You know, do me a favor, throw it up online, throw it up somewhere. There are people that actually crave the Girl Scout cookies.
We have a thing called homeless people. We could give them.
Dan,
yes.
That's why I like you on the show. I would have never thought of giving them to homeless people. But do the homeless people want Girl Scout cookies?
I think if I was homeless and I was hungry, there's a lot worse things you could eat.
So if I gave a homeless person, in your eyes, if I gave a homeless person a box of Girl Scout cookies, do you think he or she, because you always think males as far as homeless, but women can be homeless as well, do you think males or the homeless person would say, "Oh, thank you for these Thin Mints, I'm going to eat them, I can survive another day"? Or are they going to go, "All right, thank you, Charlie, hey, I got some Girl Scout cookies. Can you hook me up with something if I give you these Girl Scout cookies?"
My wife and I when we were staying in San Francisco, right around the corner from us near a car wash, and there was a black woman there all the time. We'd see her there, and we got together a bunch of cans of food, and he brought a box half full of cans of food, brought it over to the lady, and said, "Here, we see you need help," and we gave her. She goes, "I don't take anything but gift cards. Can you get me gift cards?" And she wouldn't take the cans of food.
Really? Yeah. Well, first of all, Dan, think about it. She doesn't have a can opener. She doesn't have direct heat to heat up, your Spam, whatever you're giving her. Or
I would never give away my Spam. I'm sorry.
Beefaroni or anything like that. And she has nowhere to store it. So if you give her a gift card, she would have to physically buy as she needed. So today I want to eat, gift card, I'll take 2 cans of that and then go back to my place. If everyone gave her 1 can of SpaghettiOs and 50 people, she's got 50 cans of SpaghettiOs she's now got to haul around.
Yes, but I think if you really follow these people and you wait until the end of the day and you follow them, you see them, they're going to turn around and they're going to get in their Cadillac STX and they turn around and they go, "I made $300 in gift cards today, and that's more than I would have working at any job."
Well, Dan, as soon as we wrap up the show, you're going to jump into your brand new truck, your brand new vehicle, your Chevy Silverado 1500 series, and you're going to drive off into the sunset.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm looking forward to
what?
I'm wondering if I'm going away from the sunset.
I don't know what direction you're going in. Splitting hairs here. Yeah. All right. On behalf of you guys listening to us, all our musical artists that are out there, make sure you show them some love. I'd like to thank Dan from Is This Going Somewhere podcast. Make sure you follow him as well. And the way you do that is go to iHeartRadio and search for Is This Going Somewhere podcast. And you can hear all the stories about Dan and his life expectancies as far as everything going on in the COVID nation and everything that's happened in the last couple of years or so. And you're doing well. Your first day out of the house, and we take you to a restaurant, and then we bring you here to the studio. So you seem to be doing good.
It's a great day. All right. I'll remember today. Be on my calendar.
Awesome. On that note, guys, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for downloading and doing all the stuff that links us to you and you to us. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
I will talk to Kathy about coming here on Wednesdays.
So that's how you do a podcast, Dan.
And I could see the editing part. But I think if you split it, there's no way it's going to be 50-50. This is your show. You're doing all the,
What do you mean split it 50-50?
Well, no, I said we can't. There's no way. You said you split it with me. But 50-50 is not, would be like 90-10.
Oh,
like,
I
like
was speaking facetiously.
Yes, yeah, because I was going to say you're doing a lot more after the show and all these other things. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah, that's no way.
Oh,
No
I know, Dad.
Yeah.
And I was just like I said, I was just
Yeah.
speaking facetiously.
Yeah.
We could do this. You could benefit from.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you would have to be here. I mean, it's a commitment.
Yeah.
And I've done it every. I get on your ass when you call me at 2:30. I'm in the middle of the show. I'm like going. Now you see what happens when I do the show.
I'd have to shut my ringer off.
You have to shut your ringer off. But it's a commitment, and it's this week. Hold on, let me see. Let me print this out. This is. So here's the way I follow my lineup. You can see this right here. So today's show is the 16th. Look right here. See where it says 14?
Yeah.
See how all this is red?
Yeah.
That means I've got too many sponsors, which is a good thing to have. But when I see like the 7th right here, 7th, I got 8 sponsors.
But there's still time coming. You'll fill them in. Now, would you I'm thinking with your well, let's say you have 4.
Just going somewhere. Who?
Hello. Just got off at 85. The traffic is awful, so I'm probably another like half hour away from Albemarle. Where do you want me to get when we get there? Well, when I get to Walmart in Albemarle, I'll give you a call. No, tomorrow I'm going to put the radio in the truck.
I thought Thursday was going to be my day. That's why you switched the chiropractor.
Okay. Well, we can't go anywhere with Marley anyway. But let me call you when I'm in Albemarle. She says she wants to have a day that's her day, but we have to watch the dog, so we can't go anywhere. So
Right.
It's crazy.
If you want to hook that phone up so you can call her on the way home, I'll show you how to do that.
Oh, I can put speakerphone in here. Yeah, that's good.
What were you saying?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, no, she wants...
No, you were talking about the podcast and stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you had, let's say you have 14 people that pay you for the ad, but you can only fit 9 in. How do you do that?
So what I do is I look...
Yeah.
Well, here. I'll give you... I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I can turn these lights on now. We're all done recording. Oh, I gotta turn them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget to turn the video off. See how the cameras are still lit up? All right, Dan, I want you to come over here.
Yeah.
Right here. Wave.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.